what's up guys? So today we're going to be doing another awesome read aloud. This is our second Patricia Polacco book that we're reading. And I actually got this one from the library, from my local library. And you could actually get this book from your library too. It is called My Redheaded Older Brother by Patricia Polacco. These are actual pictures here. My brother and our mother and I all lived with my grandparents on their farm in Union City, Michigan. Now I don't know how to say this word. My grandmother, she knew lots of things. Lots of things. She knew just how to tell a good story. She knew how to make ordinary things magical. She knew how to make the best chocolate chip cake in Michigan. After she told my brother and me a grand tale of her homeland, we always asked Bubby, "Is that true?" She'd answered, "Of course it is true. Of course it's true. But it may not have happened." Then she laughed. Now she knew that now I knew that she loved me all right, but I couldn't quite understand how she could even like my older brother, Richard. He had orange hair and that orange hair that was like a wire. He was covered in freckles and looked like, I don't know how to say, with glasses. The one thing that Bubby didn't seem to know was how perfectly and awful my brother was. Mind you, he was also nice whenever she was around us. But as soon as she'd leave, he would do something terrible to me and laugh. My brother annoys me sometimes. So I have a connection to the story. But my brother's not a red hair. You've seen him in videos, you've been watching him, and he does not have red hair. There is so many things that I couldn't stand about him. The worst was that he would always telling me that he could do just about everything better than I. But I can pick up more blackberries than you can. He jerried at me one day. "No, you can't. Can't so. Cannot. Can you?" he whispered. "Not," I shouted louder. "Can?" he whispered, so low that I couldn't hardly hear him. Me and my brother have arguments just like that. We both picked berries for most of the afternoon. Well, he upped and did it. He not only picked more blackberries than I, he set a record that wasn't even challenged for the next 10 years. Richard Barber, I yelled at him. Then he smiled that smile that only Ron redheaded older brother could smile. I guess I would have to face it. He could run the fastest, climb the highest, throw the farthest, sit the longest, get the dirtiest, burp the loudest, and spit the farthest. He had no equal currently not me. And I'm 4 years older than you. Always have been and always will be. He snurred. He had to be something I could do that he couldn't. Then an inspired thought comforted me like a fresh breeze on a hot summer day. Oh, Richie, I could have stood next to her, I don't know how to say it. Rhubarb bushes? Do you like rhubarb? No, I said, it's the sourest stuff on the planet. Now I knew. At long last. That eyed him. I bet I could eat more than of his raw rhubarb than you can without getting the puckers. I challenged. I don't think so. I do. I don't, he said, narrowing his eyes. I don't, I insisted. Don't, he hissed, looking smug. Do, I said furiously as I grabbed the first stalk and started chewing it almost down to the leaf. Then I couldn't get more a sour bite into my mouth. He was still eating with relish. I thought you said you don't like rhubarb, I said through the burst lips. I don't like it. I love it, he announced, and as he popped the last stalk into his mouth. See? If you say you don't like something, you should try it and you might like it. I was so mad. I couldn't even feel how my belly was starting to ache. I can't stand you, Richard Barber. I double dog can't stand you, I screamed as I went into the house and consulted by my grandmother. Yeah, and I'm 4 years older than you too, you little twerp. Always have been and always will be, he called after me. Then he laughed, that Ron redheaded older brother laugh. Richie's not being nice. That night at dinner, I could hardly eat. Have you been eating angry apples again, child? Bubby asked as she sliced me a huge wedge of rhubarb pie. I baked your favorite. Richard gave me one of his extra ron-eyed green tooth grins. Oh. you think's gonna happen? Everybody that's listening. At bedtime, my bubby came and sat on the edge of my bed like she did every night. Look, a falling star, she said. We watched it streak across the sky. I split twice between my fingers and gave her chest a loud slap. What do you think? Why did you do that, Bubby? I asked. I was making a wish. Didn't you know that wishes on falling stars come true? At last, I knew how I was going to get back at my brother. For the longest time, I watched the dark sky until I saw a star shoot across the night. I split between my two fingers and slapped my chest. I was done. My wish was to do anything better than my brother. I'd show him. What do you think's gonna happen? The next morning, all I could think about was my wish. I was thinking about it so hard, I almost didn't notice the wagons and trucks pulling into the field down the road near Four Corners. A traveling carvel, my brother shouted as he ran toward me. They're setting up right there on our field. Good, I can eat more hot dogs than you can, he teased. I was already starting it, but this time I was going to do something incredible that even he would have to sit up and take notice. I had a star wish. I'd show my rotten redheaded older brother all right. What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think? That night, I ran straight for the merry-go-round. We must take 50 turns on that carousel, but then my brother got off. I stayed on. I went around and around and around. I knew I could do this longer than you. I shouted my brother, feeling proud, but just a bit dizzy. Tricia, I heard Bubby call out. Get off that thing, it's time to go home. What do you think's gonna happen? She's dizzy right now. The last thing I remember was stepping off from that platform. The next thing I knew, I woke up with Bubby sitting on the edge of my bed. Mom and Grandpa were there too. You gave us all a fright. Mom said, how do you feel? What happened? I asked. You fell. My rotten redheaded older brother announced with the biggest grin on his face. I don't know what we would have done, my Bubby said softly. Your brother carried you all the way home, and then we had to run to get Dr. Lee. Oh. So that proves that he actually cares. You had to have stitches. I watched it all, he said excitedly. You fell off the merry-go-round right into some pop bottles, my Gramps added. You even passed out, my brother chirped. Looks like you finally did something special. I was from the exact moment that that our relationship changed somehow. Thanks, Richie, I said to him. What's a big brother for anyway? He said, blushing. That proves that he actually cares. That night, we were all out in the yard on hot Michigan nights. It was my family's custom to sleep outside where it was cold. Look at those stars, Bubby said quietly. Wishes are funny, aren't they? I said. Sometimes they come true differently than you think they will. That's why you have to be very careful what you wish for. It may just came true, Bubby said, as she squeezed both of our hands. Hang on to the grass, she whispered. What? Why, Bub? My brother asked. Because if we don't, we might float up into the stars. Then she leaned over and kissed us both 3 times. I kissed your eyes, and I hold both of your hearts in my good keeping. And this night, I thank God I walk this earth with both of you. Amen. Then we all just lay out on our blankets in the gentle summer. It's always be 4 years than you through, though, my brother whispered softly. Then he smiled. All of us held one another's hands, and we all drifted off to sleep. There's some pictures at the end, too. That is the end of today's story. And I really liked that story because, let me show you that last picture where they drifted off to sleep. Yeah, so that really was good. And the lesson in that story was you should care for everyone. And you should be kind. So when Tricia got dizzy and passed out and fell into some pop bottles, Richie carried her all the way home and ran to get Dr. Lee. That proves that he actually cares about his sister. Because at the beginning they were fighting, and then Tricia made a wish that she could do anything better than her brother. Then it came true. So that was actually a really good book. It shows that we should care for everyone and be kind. Everyone, I hope you have a great day and you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.